Good to see you again. You're watching Inside Africa. The work of Kenyan political cartoonist Gado is well known to newspaper readers throughout his country. Naturally, Kenya's political crisis has been a recurring theme in his recent work. I had a chance to speak with him on the very day the power sharing agreement was signed.
It has been a very difficult time, I suppose, to everybody, and also to myself as a commentator, because normally as an editorial cartoonist you draw all these crises from afar, and it's always sometimes very easy because, you know, yes, you read and you follow news, and you know, there's a problem in Darfur, and there is a problem in Somalia, and I've always commented on these issues, and sometimes arrogantly so. But you know, this time around I was also caught up, you know, as part of the crisis, and so it was very difficult.
Let's set the scene for one of your cartoons. I love this one. This one is with Odinga and President Kibaki having a discussion, and underneath them having a discussion is President Kibaki holding some puppet strings with the judges on the end of their puppet strings.
It wasn't actually published in my newspaper, I think, because of the tensions which were around at that particular time. My editors felt that probably we, you know, let's not put it out there. But it was published in my website. There was also, you know, because of what happened, there was an issue of just, you know, the media itself, you know, censoring quite a lot of things. I think editors felt that sometimes it's, you know, they didn't want to publish particular articles for right reasons. So I personally, I think I was also a bit frustrated. Some of my cartoons were never published. I must emphasize, you know, some of these cartoons I did because at that particular time nobody, you know, thought that we'll get to where we are today. And so I did a cartoon about Kibaki, you know, sworn in as a lame duck president. The very day he was sworn in. I think it was withdrawn probably the last minute, but it appeared, you know, on the net, and so it went, you know, round, and so that was one of the probably the very first, and it was, I think, it was published in a newspaper in London, in the Guardian of London.
The two main political players in Kenya right now, Raila Odinga, President Kibaki, how are they to draw? How do you like drawing their features?
They're gorgeous. Most of the time, I think the two, I don't need any references to draw them. I always, you know, sort of like I've drawn them for so long that I always, you know, like have them with me in my head. It's very easy to draw them, especially President Kibaki, because he's fun to draw. His eyes, and because he's bald-headed, so it's very easy to identify with him. Most of the time is also his posture. You know, he has this, you know, in a way, a little bit laid-back kind of posture, and so that's always easy. Even in my cartoons, you know, you can always, you know, always see how you draw him. And with Raila, it's because he's more energetic and more forthright and you know, more talkative of the two. I also draw him with all this flamboyant and, you know, shirts and, you know, African attires, and so people can always, you know, identify him as, you know, that's Raila.
Have you met either of those two politicians?
No. I normally try to avoid politicians. And I find them quite interesting. You know, so most of the time I don't really have, you know, any burning desire to meet them. But I always enjoy sort of like watching them.
How nervous do you make your editors feel? What's your relationship with them? It's
an interesting relation I have, because most of the time they feel that I'm insensitive, and some of the cartoons are very strong, and but that doesn't concern me, because I think one of the job of any editorial cartoonist is to provoke thoughts. It's to discuss issues, and it's not necessarily about what is wrong and what is right.
And that was Kenyan political cartoonist Gado, who incidentally at the end of our chat said it was a shame I wasn't a politician, as I had a great face for caricature. So he picked up his pen, and 2 minutes later I'm a cartoon Oh yes, I'm just lips and hair. I don't look like that, do I? Be sure to watch Inside Africa next week as we'll be on assignment in Lagos, Nigeria. We'll bring you that special we've been promising on the explosion of mobile phone use around the continent. I'm Femi Oke. Until the next time, take care.